Disabled people constitute a sizable minority of the world's population. Estimates from the World Health Organization indicate that over 1 billion people are disabled, around 15% of the population. However, despite the size of the community, disabled people remain among the most politically marginalized social groups, with lower levels of education, income, and welfare. Indeed, it is rare to find examples of openly disabled people occupying positions of power. Even when disabled people do occupy positions of power, the media tends to explain this as an individual overcoming their disability. We can think here of former U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt or former UK Education and Home Secretary David Blunkett. In other words, disability is typically presented as a tragedy, a negative condition which the individual must overcome in order to succeed. Of course, there are politicians with invisible impairments, politicians who do not self-identify or publicly declare that they are disabled. The fear of disclosure is unsurprising, given the persistent stigma surrounding disability, as well as the desire to be seen as a normal politician. Moreover, it is not uncommon to see disability or health conditions weaponized during political campaigns to discredit or undermine political candidates. The pervasive negativity surrounding disability means that sometimes individual politicians can simultaneously experience ableism as well as engaging in it themselves. For example, prior to the 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump made fun of Sergei Kovaleski, a New York Times reporter with arthrogryposis, only to find himself the subject of mockery in 2020 when he struggled to walk along a ramp and access a glass of water. In other words, the relationship between disability, power, and political representation is complex. Whom we elect to represent us matters. It matters because political representatives, acting both individually and collectively, shape the laws that govern our lives. Politicians occupy important roles and can be critical to helping achieve equality. This is especially important for traditionally marginalized groups such as disabled people. Although a wealth of important and necessary studies have examined the political representation of other socially marginalized groups, such as women, LGBT+ communities, and racialized minorities, there has been relatively little attention paid to the political representation of disabled people. This book takes up some of the challenges of thinking about disability and political representation by exploring how and why representation is important for disabled people, but also how disability can help us think about the contours of political representation. We explore why increasing the number of disabled people matters, not only as a matter of justice and equality, but also to better represent the issues and interests of importance to disabled people. One of the central demands of the disability rights movement, nothing about us without us, is at the heart of the analysis we provide in this book.